This is the Gaming Rep, and today we're looking at a new game just coming live. We're going to be diving into Subnautica Below Zero. So in our last video I mentioned about doing a bit of a speed test for the swimming to show the difference between swimming with an item in your hand, both hands free, and of course using the sea glide. So I've set a target up. Now for some reason it says it's 97 meters if you swim in one direction and 100 meters in the other, but it's close enough. So the target's 100 meters away, so swimming with just the one hand holding something, it takes 19.65 seconds to get from the pod to the beacon. With both hands free and swimming back, it's not a lot better, to be honest. With both hands free, it takes 16.9 seconds to get from the beacon back to the pod's doors. So you're only looking at a 2.5, maybe 3 second improvement, depending upon how fast I actually manage to press the button. I'm getting old, my reactions are getting slow. So we're going to use the sea glide now. So I'm just trying to see why it says 100 meters in one way and 97 the other. So I'm going to use the sea glide now and see what happens. And you can instantly tell this is a lot faster, just from the feel of it. And in fact the sea glide only takes 12.13 seconds to cover the distance, so it's almost twice as fast as swimming one-handed, and roughly half as fast again, 50% again, swimming with both hands. So it's a massive improvement. Now in the messages that we received at the start of the game, it tells us that our sister died in an accident caused by her own negligence, and that she was based at the headquarters was based at Delta Island. Oh, we've got an SOS signal for some reason.
That sounds like a distress call.
Sounds like a distress call, indeed it does. Right, well it's 200 meters deep, so at the moment that's a bit too deep for us to go and search for, so we'll have to do that once we've got either better oxygen or better equipment. We're heading to Delta Base. Now, I know it's somewhere south of us, mostly because north, we saw on the map, when we jumped in, there was just ice. So we know it's somewhere south of us. So I'm going to just keep heading south until I get a message telling me that I've come across the beacon for it.
Alterra beacon signature detected.
Now there we are.
Unique identifier.
Alterra beacon
Delta
signature
station
detected.
dock.
Unique identifier Delta Station.
Delta Station.
One thing you have to be careful with over here, there are predators that will attack you, and they are big and they are nasty. So please be careful when you're wandering around. Okay, so I'm going to come up towards the docking station now. Now once we get onto the dock, there's actually quite a lot of tech there. There's PDAs, there's different things we can pick up that we can scan. We've got the light sticks, floodlights, equipment we can scan, including the coffee machine, you know, if you can't do without your morning cup of Java. So there's all sorts of things that we can add as tech that don't add much to the game, but it actually makes the base feel a lot more realistic when you build your base, and that's one of the reasons we've come here. Again,
New blueprints
I know from previous playthroughs that the base building tool, the habitat builder, is actually on this island, so we can start building our own proper base. Again, you need to keep an eye on your body temperature. Mine's getting down towards 50 or below. Your water and your food levels. So in a minute I'm going to jump back in the sea to warm myself up, and it is quite a weird system, I suppose, in some ways, that obviously, you know, the water of the planet is actually what you use to keep yourself hot. So I've done that. Now I'm going to head up towards the try and find the outpost. Now I'm assuming because the radio tower is up on the top of the island, the outpost is going to be... This is a recorded message. If you can hear this, you're trespassing. If you know what's good for you, you'll get the hell out of here. Cool. Threats. So again, going into the caves, you've got the sun lilies. They will keep you sort of warm. They'll heat you up. But also, the caves themselves are classed as an enclosed structure. Now, I've cut some of the time out because about now we get sort of attacked.
There, Alterra. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Alterra.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off my land.
Now, I've cut out the transport, the travel from the dock up to the base. Basically, just keep heading up the hill. Here is Delta Station, the base. You can see the habitats in the background of it, and they look a bit damaged, so I'm not expecting a lot. There's the builder tool, so we need to scan that. That will allow us to start building our own base. Now when you go inside, again, there is all sorts of stuff in here to scan. Furniture, the map, the rooms themselves. Basically, when you discover a new room type, in this case the multi-purpose room, we'll go through and see some others in a minute, you can scan them to find out what else there is, to find out how to build that room, what resources are needed. Again, the jukebox. It plays no practical role, but it does mean that you can have some background music going on when you're in your base, maybe fabricating items, maybe decide to take a bit of a chill. Maybe you want to sit and read through all the 5 billion logs that you get telling you all about things. Because trust me, there is a lot of reading if you want to do it in this game. The other thing I'd recommend, I didn't do it when I came in, I will have to try and remember about it,
A map will come in.
is
I should be able to find my
the nameplates on the door. I've run
sale.
past them that time, I'll get them in a minute. If you scan the nameplates, it gives you access to a very brief personnel file that tells you a little bit about the person. Everybody's beds are individually scannable. The reason for this isn't that you're some widow that collects people's beds, it's so that you can have the different designs of bed type in your shelter. They all come with different bed clothes, bed covers, and so you can have a different style to your room if you want to, or if you wanted to set up a base that looked as though it was inhabited by a number of people, then you'd be able to have different rooms with different furnishings in them. Again, scan everything. I can't emphasize that enough. If it can be scanned, scan it. The worst that happens is you've wasted 10-15 seconds. The best that happens is you get hold of some new tech or some new information that you can't get otherwise. So this has given me the personnel files on Fred and Jeremiah. I'm going to go now, there's another building just up to the left here, grab the information. If you see these flight boxes, they normally have blueprints in them or some other sort of information. They are well worth scanning. Opening up to get the information from. As we go in here, this is Emmanuel's room. He was the head of the mission, so he's got some nice bits and pieces in there. Again, an aquarium, so you can have a fish tank in your room. Why you'd want that when most of your bases are underwater, and so, you know, you've got a fish tank outside your window. But, you know, you can have a fish tank in your room as well. Again, Emmanuel has his own bed, which is a very Alterra-oriented design with the Alterra logo on the bedclothes.
Sam really got under
You can scan his desk, you can obviously pick up PDA. You can also scan the executive tool, which is one of those magnetic ball things. I don't know if you've seen them if you're old enough, where you let one ball go and they sort of keep eternally clacking backwards and forwards together. It actually does sort of relieve sort of stress for about 30 seconds. Different types of plant pots. Again, you can grow food inside your base. So again, you don't have to keep going around there hunting for fish. You can grow potatoes and different plants or different ingredients that you need for recipes or for the construction. So again, we've scanned the observatory, which is an all-glass room and a basic food source.
New blueprint synthesized.
So picked up some bits and pieces. I'm just going to get some water. Keep an eye on your food, your water, your oxygen or your temperature levels. These things are critical, because if they hit the 0, you will die. Now, it's not permadeath unless you've set that up, but you will drop quite a lot of the stuff that you've already picked up. And if you've been running around picking stuff up like crazy because you desperately want to get all this gear to build stuff, then you die and drop it all. You're going to be a little bit peed with yourself. Now the tower, make sure you search around it. There are a couple of PDAs there. There's other bits and pieces. There's also a control panel where you can get a status report, and later on in the game you can come back and you need to use the tower again for other things. I won't say anything more about that for now, but the tower is important, so make sure you have a quick nose round. And again, you'll notice that body temperature is dropping, so just be careful. Again, you've got the thermal lily just by the entrance, so you can run back. You can see I'm frosting up now, I'm starting to get a bit too cold. So I'm going to head back to the thermal lily. I'm actually going to call it a day here. I'm going to head back inside the outpost for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. My next video will involve building up some of the start of a base. So please, if you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, come back and see me next time. Have a great time. Subnautica is released properly tomorrow. Enjoy.